Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everyone? I go by RB and this is Philly Take with RB. Now, if you have been enjoying the content of this channel, do me a favor real quick. Take a second and go smash that like button for me. Help your boy spread the content of the channel. And if you're new and you want to stay updated on some great Philly content, well, be sure to subscribe. Now, yesterday we had a great conversation about the Eagles running back situation and who is likely to stay and go heading into the 2020 season. You guys did a great job commenting down below. Loved all your thoughts and opinions. Today, I want to talk about the Eagles wide receiver situation and get your thoughts on it. Now, we all know, right? This has been the most crucial topic, the most intriguing aspect of this Eagles offseason. How we address the defense and free agency. And ever since then, all the draft talk leading up the draft and now up to the season should mostly be focused, we know, on the wide receiver position. And it's still incredible to me, still amazing that Carson Wentz threw for over 4,000 yards without a 500-yard receiver. It is insane. And now that we have pieces, Howie, like I said, redeemed himself later on in the draft, picked up a couple of receivers. We went out and made a trade, and now there's a lot of talk. Who's going to make the roster, who isn't? First off, I want you guys to go comment down in the comment section below. Which wide receivers do you think are going to make this roster in 2020? Let me know why. I'll give my opinion on it. As of right now, I've been hearing 5, 6, 7 receivers. I mean, there's like 12 to 14 guys fighting for the job. At the moment, my first gut instinct, I believe that 5 receivers will make this roster. 5. That might sound a little low to you. Here's why. Our double tight end package. I mean, we have 2 of the top 5 tight ends in the NFL. I don't care what anyone says. Ertz is a sure hands type of dude. He's just consistent, I love Zach Ertz here, and Dallas Goedert to me is, you put the speed, the strength, put it all together. This guy, it can be special, and I'm excited to see what we can do with both of these guys in this offense. I hope we see a lot more 12 personnel, but anyway, I think we'll have 5 receivers and we'll have the 2 tight ends, and with the running backs and everything, this is going to be a lethal offense. Now, in terms of the wide receivers, I think, like I said, 5 guys are going to make it. The first 2 of that list are easy to determine, right? DeSean Jackson, he's getting up there in age. I've heard some people questioning him. I don't know why. I'm not questioning DeSean Jackson, all right? He's DeSean Jackson. He's going to make the big plays. He's going to be there. He's going to show up. He hasn't been injured too much in his career. Obviously, last year was a bummer, especially after that first game of the season. We saw what he could do. He's going to be great. I think he's going to come out and have an explosive year. I'm predicting 10 touchdowns or above for D-Jax. I mean, Wentz is going to hit him. It's going to be crazy, man. D-Jax is out of the way. He's obviously on the list. Number 2, who other than Jalen Reagor, right? First round pick. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be expected to step in day one. That's why we drafted him as high as we did. He rose up the boards to 21. And he's explosive, and I'm expecting him to have a pretty productive season as long as he stays healthy as well. He's going to be expected to. With everything that's going on, he's going to be expected to. So those 2 are out of the way. I think numbers 3 to 5 or 3 to 6, 3 to 7, however many receivers you guys think are going to make this team. That's where it gets interesting. Now, for me, number 3, I'm actually going to put J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I know I've said before I don't know if the Eagles would keep him, but I think that the Eagles can't give up on a second-round pick just like that, Like, yes, he only had 10 catches for the year. Yes, he was the disappointment. But then again, take into account some of the other factors, like the Mike Groh, who barely, did anything, kind of looked like a deer in headlights at times. Carson Walsh, the wide receivers coach, he was, I don't know, man. Like, yes, we have to put some blame on Arcega-Whiteside, but as well as the coaching staff, things were just not as polished as we had saw, in years like 2017. We didn't have the type of dudes here on the coaching staff. And, even guys like Dan Orlovsky on ESPN would break it down after game days this past year. We would see wide receiver. We were blaming a lot on Carson Wentz, but when we started to see the film and we started to see guys break this down, these wide receivers weren't running the right routes a lot of the time. They weren't as sharp as they needed to be, or they were going a couple yards too much before they took their cut. You know what I mean? Like, overall, I think everyone deserves a little bit of the blame, and you can't give up on a guy that early. And obviously, these guys don't just show up on game days and automatically start running routes wrong. This was taught during the week. These guys had to have done reps on reps on reps of this during practice. And I just don't think the philosophy, the system, the support in itself was good. But now that we have guys like Aaron Moorhead on the staff, who has gotten a lot of praise, coached the last couple years at Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, before that, a wide receivers coach, who has gotten a lot of praise, and even he had a not too well of a career, but they say this guy has a great football mind, and I think he's going to come in here and have a good impact on these receivers. So, like I said, I don't think they'll give up on Whiteside. I think he will be here, and I've talked about we need this power type of receiver, especially down in the red zone, to go up and get some balls when we lob it up, to the corner of the end zone. I think that's what they want Whiteside to be. I think they want him to be sort of, what Alshon was for this team. And speaking of Alshon, by the way, I do believe he still will get cut. I think we've tried to trade him, but no one will want to take on his contract. So I think he will end up being cut. And I think Whiteside is what they want. I think they want him to develop into what Alshon was. So I do think he will get a chance here, but he's going to have to prove his worth. He's going to have to come in here and show that he has made a big leap from years 1 to 2. I think the limb is kind of shorter on Whiteside, even though I don't think they'll get rid of him. But he has to come in and start having an impact right away, and I hope he does. We can't have drops in big games, big-time situations. I hope Whiteside develops, and I hope this new system kind of helps him out as well. So those are my top 3. And now when we get to 4 and 5, we'll talk about Greg Ward next. Obviously, Greg Ward, to me, really proved himself. I think he plays with a chip on his shoulder, getting cut 3 times by the Eagles and coming back. And then when he got the opportunity, I like Greg Ward coming back on this team as a slot dude. I think he will strive in the slot. I believe that he will be the starting guy in the slot now that Nelson Aguilar is gone. We saw when Ward got his opportunity, when he got the chance to play more down the stretch, when Carson Wentz needed someone to throw the ball to, when he needed someone to step up, Greg Ward answered the question. I'm not saying he's a top tier NFL receiver, but I will say he showed me a lot, and he showed me some good confidence and that he can play with that type of winning mentality. Obviously, all our thoughts go to the Redskins game when he made that game-winning catch. I like Greg Ward, and I saw an article that said that we could possibly trade him after the draft, like he was likely to be traded. I don't understand that. I really think that Greg Ward proved enough. He proved what we needed to see, and I think he's going to have a good shot of making this roster. So I'll go Greg Ward at number 4. I think he will strive in the slot. Number 5 is Marquise Goodwin. A lot of people have talked about this trade. A lot of you like it, and some of you just don't like it. Marquise Goodwin, 29 years old. He had a career year in 2017, and the past couple years, he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. I think when he is healthy, when he has his legs under him, he is a speed demon. He can open up the field. I mean, imagine him and D-Jax on the outside. It would be crazy. But the biggest question, like I said, is his health. Can he stay healthy? I think it is important to notice, the 49ers swapped 6-round picks with us for Marquise Goodwin. 6-round picks. We moved back like 20 slots. I don't think the 49ers would do that if they had a lot of confidence in him being able to come back, even off a couple injuries. I think they view him as a guy who's pretty much washed at the end of his career. So I think this could be a low-risk, high-reward type of thing for the Eagles. To me, it's either all in or all out. If he comes into OTAs in the preseason, whenever that is, and he is strong, has his legs under him, and he is fluid, and he's able to contribute to this team, I think his veteran experience and all of his skills put together, I think it will be able to help the Eagles. Obviously not as a starter. To me, he kind of reminds me, and I'm not talking about ability-wise, but I'm talking about in terms of role, kind of like what the Eagles tried to do with Torrey Smith back in 2017, bringing that guy with some veteran experience who's been there around. He's been around a while, and he can contribute some things to your team. He's not going to be the man here, but I think if he is healthy and the Eagles could somehow get this guy in better shape and, away from those injuries, and if Marquise Goodwin's healthy, he can open up the field for us, and he could prove everyone wrong, and he could have a great year. So I think, obviously, it's far out right now. We're a long time away. We still have months to go here. I think that, the dudes that we saw last season down the stretch, Deontay Burnett, Robert Davis, I don't think they'll make the roster. I think they'll be practice squad guys. The last two I want to talk about are Hightower and Quez Watkins. I think both of these guys are projects. They need to develop more. Obviously haven't played the best competition, even though they both have some speed to them, even though they have a little bit of size. They're explosive, athletic. I could see one of these guys making the roster as our sixth receiver. And if it was to me, my direction leans towards Quez Watkins just because I like what I see from him. Obviously, he hasn't played the best competition, but in terms of, what he could develop into, I think the upside is there. He could also contribute on special teams, depending on what we do with guys like we talked about yesterday, like Killins or, whoever we have returning kicks. I think Watkins has a shot to make this team, a legit shot. And I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him as our sixth guy. So if I was to say six people, I would probably lean towards him. Hightower, I think he's a good project. And honestly, he could, if Goodwin isn't healthy enough, if the Eagles, just tried something but it doesn't work out, I could definitely see them trying to develop Hightower. Maybe have him on the practice squad, bring him up in case of an injury. Who knows? I mean, all these guys could be viable options. All of them could develop. But like I said, we have to wait. We have to wait these couple months, see what happens during training, get the scouting reports on who's developing, who's looking like what. Obviously, our strength and conditioning coaches have to get these guys into better shape as well, especially during a time like this. What I will tell you is that we're going to have a track team in that locker room. We are going to have tons of speed. These guys are going to be burning each other in practice. I'm excited to see what happens. I also think it could be possible down the road. Could be possible. Who knows with Howie Roseman. But maybe we go out and even try to get a wide receiver, veteran presence in this locker room. Maybe we go and try to sign a 1 or 2 year deal for, Demaryius Thomas, Paul Richardson still out there. Maybe a guy like that. You never know with this team. Say Goodwin doesn't pan out. Even though I do like Goodwin and, we restructured his contract. He's only making $1.3 million for this year, which is a good investment. Obviously, we don't want to pay too much to a wide receiver guy, but if a dude is looking to take a discount and he could bring something to this team, you can never count that out as well, in my opinion. Take these wide receivers into account. Take Goddard. Take Ertz. Take Miles Sanders, Boston Scott. This team has a lot of toys to play with, and if they do it right and these coaches develop these guys, there is no saying what this Eagles team and this Eagles offense can do this next upcoming year. I'm excited to see what happens. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. How many wide receivers do you think will make this team, and who will be the odd man out? Who will make the team and why? Let me know all your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.